Continuing on the custom card review streak, we're going to be talking about an LR hit, and it's coming in from our guy Mick. But before I go ahead and read this custom card, send me Dokkan concepts over to bhfcustomcards@gmail.com so I get to your Dokkan concept as soon as possible while I get all these recent and older Dokkan concepts out the way. So with that being said, all it says is like and subscribe inside the message for the email. Hey, Mick already knows the deal. I don't gotta say it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at this LR hit. So I'm pretty sure this all aligns pretty well. It does. Okay, perfect. Okay, so LR hit. The Untouchable Assassin hit LR Extreme Physical. Okay, and these are stats as shown. All right, and his leader skill is Universe 6, 3 key, and 220% across the board. We did just get a 220 for Universe 6, that being Miss LR killing Khalifa, and his 12 key, that being Unrelenting Fury. He gets 30% attack and defense for 4 turns. And massively lowers the enemy's defense while having a 70% chance to stun, and that's a other type super. And his 18 key, that being Cage of Time, he stacks attack and gets 100% defense for 1 turn, and he massively lowers defense and disables enemy action. And it's a other super also. Wow. So he has a good combination of super attack effects. Yeah, outside of the massively lowering defense, of course. I mean, because, obviously it's not really all that good. But disabling enemy action, nice. Granted, there are some bosses that could be stunned inside of the battle-hardened formidable foes. I think that's what that mode is called. I think it is. So that could be useful in that specific content. As well as that 30% attack and defense for 4 turns. That's very good for a 12 key. And disabling enemy action while also, of course, stacking attack and getting 100% defense one turn. Yeah, the super attack combinations outside the massive lowering defense is good. I would say so. Alright, so the passive, that being the Assassin's Unbeatable Technique. Activates interest animation once only when there's another Universe 6 or Pure Sands category ally on the team. Okay. And nullifies attacks that are guaranteed to hit for 1 turn from appearance and a 30% chance to dodge for 1 turn. As well as changes key spheres of a random type to physical for 3 turns. So he's a physical orb changer for 3 turns, as well as him nullifying attacks that are guaranteed. Okay. Alright. As well as having an additional 30% chance to dodge. Okay. So, orb changing, as well as nullification to attacks, and, yeah, okay, yeah, that seems pretty good. Nullifies attacks that are guaranteed to hit for 1 turn from appearance. So he can't take damage on the first turn. That actually might be better than I think it is. That might be better than I think it is, bro. Alright, so his base effects, he gets 2 key and 166% attack and defense baseline, as well as 1 key per key sphere obtained. So key per key sphere obtained for 3 turns, as well as a 15% chance to dodge. And he launches an additional attack that's a 66% chance to become a super attack. Alright. So what's that? We're up to a 45% chance to dodge, including the entrance animation. But the thing is that he nullifies attacks that are okay. And he gets his dodge. Oh, am I crazy? Or nullify attacks that are guaranteed to hit for 1 turn from appearance. So that's just like any normals that are directed at this character. Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. This cancels out dodge canceling bosses. Okay, I get it. Yeah. And of course, he'll have that 45% chance to dodge from his base effect up to his interest animation buff. To the person that created this card, let me know down below if I was right about that. That nullifying attacks are guaranteed to hit for 1 turn. I'm pretty sure, like, if the boss cancels dodge, like, let's take that blue Goku from that red zone, for example, where he's able to cancel dodge. So within that first turn, he nullifies attacks that are guaranteed to hit. Yeah, okay. So I'm pretty sure that's basically what that means. Okay, I'm going off on a tangent. All right, so when attacking with 12 or more key, he gets 66% attack and defense, as well as a 66% chance to launch an additional super attack, and an additional 15% chance to dodge. So now we're up to, what's that? A 60% chance to dodge? Of course, including the interest animation buff for 1 turn. And when attacking with 18 or more ki, 66% attack and defense additionally, and a 66% chance to launch an additional super attack with additional 15% chance to dodge. Alright, so now we're up to a 75% chance to dodge. Okay, but that's granted we have to attack first to get those dodge buffs. Right? Because that'd be 15, 15, that's 30, and an additional 15 right up here, that's 45. And then 45 into 30 is 75. So it's a 75% chance to dodge. That's what we're up to right now. Alright, so when attacking with 24 ki, nullify attacks that are guaranteed to hit, and launches a guaranteed super with an additional 15% chance to dodge. So now we're up to a 90% chance to dodge. Wow, okay. And that's granted within the same first turn. With every super attack performed within a turn, he gets an additional 10% chance to dodge and 6% damage reduction. So that means with that additive, he could get guaranteed dodge within the same turn. Interesting, but this guy does not look like he's gonna fare well in slot 1 of what I'm seeing so far. Let's continue reading though. Alright, so there's so much more to this card. I'm saying that, but there's a lot more. Like the rest of this, like this entire part of his kit. He might be good in slot 1, but of course we gotta continue to read his card. Okay, so when there's another when there is a Universe 6 ally on the team, 50% defense, additional 15% chance to dodge, and guard. Okay. When the target enemy is in a defense down or stun status, which of course this card has those two specific statuses built into his super attack effects, additional 50% attack as well as a 15% chance to dodge, and disables enemy guard when attacking. We're just gonna have to add up all that dodge. Oh my god. And after dodging an attack, counters with enormous power. And after 6 super attacks have been performed, opens domain inside the time skip. Universe 6 allies get 6 ki for 2 turns. And he gets 5% damage reduction for himself for the rest of the battle. And he gets that ki for himself too. Wow, okay. After 12 supers have been performed. That's a bit much, no? Okay. Opens domain inside the time skip. And okay, he gets additional 5% damage reduction for the rest of the battle again. And gives 6 ki for 2 turns. Alright, so wow. And after 18 super attacks. Okay, so it's pretty much the same thing. So he's getting rewarded with not only up to 15% damage reduction, but he's gonna keep reprocking ki for multiple turns for Universe 6 characters, including himself. And he can get damage reduction. 18 supers is a bit outlandish, no? Considering the fact that 66% chance of launching an additional super. And there is a universe in which where somebody is not going to be able to get 12 supers. Like, there's a universe where this is not going to be easy to get. But if you really think about it, this, in a fight like this, unit seems like a pretty strong option for that blue Goku in that red zone. What is that, Vegeta's story or something like that? You guys know what fight I'm talking about. That one blue Goku that has like 1.5 billion health, and he could double super, and he cancels dodge. This looks like a very strong option for that fight. The only thing is that for him to get the nullification for attacks that are guaranteed to hit, which of course that Goku has, he has to get the 24 ki. So this guy has to be focused to get that 24 ki. But the thing is that this card does have ki for keys to obtain for 3 turns. I don't think this guy would struggle for ki. I don't think so. Considering he is a terminal power character. And let's just go ahead and grab up a random hit. Let's just take this guy, right? And these hits do tend to have solid ki links. They do have shocking speed. He has shocking speed. He has shocking speed. He has Warriors of Universe 6. Wait, no, this is the, I'm going to assume this hit, let me see his link set. He does have tournament power. Okay. Yeah, so we can just go ahead and cancel that out. Yeah, this guy has shocking speed. He has Warriors Universe 6 and Tournament Power. He's not going to struggle for key. And then add that to the fact that this card can get 6 key for 2 turns, and he can reproc it up to 3 times. He's not struggling for key. Key for keys to obtain. He's loaded with solid key links, and I would say he can reproc getting 6 key for 2 turns 3+ times, while also getting up to 15% damage reduction rest of the battle and foreseeing supers rest of the battle. Now, inside these fights, yeah, he's gonna dominate that Vegeta inside that Goku's story red zone. Inside that Goku, I feel like he's gonna be very powerful in that Goku one too. And his defensive stats pretty solid. High and HP stat too. The worst thing about this card is his leader skill. Just like the Scale and Khalifa. Universe 6 is dog shit. And I do love the fact that all this guy needs is a pure Saiyan category on the team to proc this. And that's very easy. Now, granted, for the Universe 6 part of the card, bro, yo, is this rotation with this Carnival LR hit and then this Dokkan Fest hit like a crazy rotation? The only thing is that this guy could take slot 1, turn 1, because he can nullify attacks that are guaranteed hit for 1 turn. Yeah, he nullifies that, and that could be for the entire rotation. I like to assume this is for the entire rotation. The nullifying attacks that are guaranteed hit for 1 turn, because that's from the interest animation buff. Okay, what do we have here? So, how many supers can this card do? So we have an additional super attack chance right over here. I'm just going to call them additionals. So that's 1 additional right over here. That's 2 for getting 12 more key. That is 3 for getting 18 more key. And this is a guaranteed one right over here. So that's 4+ supers built into his kit. And we haven't even looked at his domain, by the way. But we're going to get to that in just a second. So that's 4+ supers just from his kit. He can build up to what percentage of dodge? Let's say that you get this guy to 24 key, and he can open his domain 3 times, by the way, bro. I'm yet to factor in the domain, guys. Okay, so that's 4+ supers, 3 being additionals, and 1 being guaranteed. And he can do 6+ supers, because he does his first base super. That being is, let's say you get him to 24 key. He does his first base super, and then he can have 4 more coming from his kit, 3 being additionals and 1 being a guarantee, so that's 5. Alright, and then he has his hidden potential. Yeah. And then on the defensive end, let's just go ahead and focus strictly on turn 1. So that's 30. And let's say you fulfill all these conditions. So that's 30, of course, turn 1. That's 45. That is, that's 60. That is 75. That's 90. And that is 105. You get this guy to 24 key, that's a 105 chance to dodge with that Universe 6 character. We're not factoring him doing those super attacks, by the way. That's a 105% chance to dodge on turn 1. Granted, he's attacking with 24 key. And then, if the enemy has their defense... Okay, we're not even going to focus on these 2 parts, right? Because, of course, he has to super for him to debuff their defense / stun them. So, not factoring him... But no, we have to factor that in. We have to. Yeah, no, we do. So that's a 105% chance to dodge, turn 1. And then let's say you get lucky and this guy does those 6+ supers, including those additionals plus that hidden potential. So before he supers, that's a 105% chance to dodge. No, I'm lying. No, before he supers, he only has a 40. No, it's 30. Before he supers, turn 1, that's 30. That's 45. And of course, that's including him having that Universe 6 character on the team. So that is a 60% chance to dodge. Yeah, before he supers, turn 1, that's a 60% chance to dodge. After he supers, bro. So 105%, so a 60% chance to dodge before he supers. And then after he supers, okay, so that's 105. And then we go ahead and add this plus this. So let's say you get lucky. He does those 6 plus supers. That's a 60% chance to dodge with that 6% damage reduction, of course. So that's 36% damage reduction, because 6 times 6 is 36, right? I'm pretty sure. And that'd be a 60% chance to dodge. So with this, bro, that's 100, and I think that's 165% chance to dodge. That's 165% chance to dodge. And then we add this. That's 100 and I think that is, I'm just doing basic math. That's 180% chance to dodge. Correct me if I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I think that's 180% chance to dodge. Post super, turn 1. Turn 1. I'm pretty sure I did the math correctly. Yeah, because that's 105% before we add the 6 plus supers, as well as, that's supers, right? That he has to do to get that dodge chance up? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Turn 1, a 60% chance to dodge before he attacks. And then after he attacks, he has 180% chance to dodge. With how much damage reduction? After 6 supers, like let's say you get that 6 supers, because he's going to have that, right? 180% chance to dodge with including this 5% damage reduction. That's 41% damage reduction with guard. So after this fucker supers, an 180% chance to dodge with with guard and 41% damage reduction. I could just stopped and just said it was just a guaranteed chance to dodge after 105, but we have to look into how high that can be. Okay, that's the defensive end turn 1. Now let's go ahead and remove this 30% chance to dodge. So he's only gonna have a 30% chance to dodge going past the first turn. So let's get saying onwards from turn 1 throughout the rest of the battle. That's a 30% chance to dodge because he loses interest animation buff from having this, right? And he still has the orb changing. Yeah, he's not struggling for key. He fucking orb changes. I forgot. Orb changing with key per keyster obtained with solid key links for the tournament power team. He's gonna be fine. He's not struggling for key. Yeah. So after turn 1, he's only gonna have a 30% chance to dodge. No, that's a lie. Right? No, it's not. It's not. Yeah, he's only gonna have a 30% chance. No, he's not, because the enemy's still gonna have the defensive down status. He's gonna have a 45% chance to dodge with guard. Okay. A 45% chance to dodge. So we can just go ahead and that's a 45% chance to dodge. And then post super 45, right? Because you know that's 15. Then this would be 15 right over here. Right? Yeah, it is, because these would still be procced. This would still be procced. So that would be 45, including the base effect. That's 45. So that'd be 45, 60. That would be 75. And then that would be 90. So, and then 90 into 60, that's 150, right? So this guy going onwards from turn 1 would have a 150% chance to dodge with guard and 46% damage. No, I lied. This would be buffed up, because let's say you get lucky, you get a fucking Cinderella turn, and you get this again, because he does 6 more supers and he reprocs his fucking domain, as well as gives the key for those multiple turns and gets that 5% damage reduction for himself. So he would get up to 46% damage reduction. Granted, you get lucky. So let's say you just have a crazy lucky turn. That's a 150% chance to dodge post super. After, of course, interest animation buffer is off, excuse me, with guard and 46% damage reduction. I think I did the math correctly. If I did the math incorrectly, I've been corrected plenty of times before on the channel, and I am not afraid to admit that I'm wrong, but please let me know. And for the person that created this card, I will pin your comment, as I've done quite a few times in the past. So, on the defensive end, you guys get the fucking gist. This guy just gets crazier and crazier. He gets crazier and crazier, bro. I mean, come on now. And then we do 6 more supers. The fucker has foreseeing super attacks, and he gets up to, what's that? 51% damage reduction, guard, 150% chance to dodge, post super, and pre super, that's only 45% chance to dodge. Yeah, this guy's good. I mean, that's just the whole gist of it. He's not struggling. There's no way he's struggling for ki. Because after his orb changing and his keeper key obtained wears off, he still has this. He still has this. Yeah. You're going to be well past the 3rd turn. He's still going to have that +6 key. Excuse me. But yeah. Alright, let's go over to his active skill. Active skill, time lag, delays a single target enemy's action. Okay. After performing 6 supers. Alright. So his domain, within the Assassin's time skip, Universe 6 category allies and enemies get 15% attack and defense. And Rapid Growth category allies and enemies get 10% attack and defense. And Realm of Gods category allies and enemies get 15% damage increased. Yeah. Damage received, not damage increased. Yeah. All right, and Space Traveling Warriors category enemies and allies take additional 5% damage. So if you're a Realm of Gods / Space Traveling Warriors character, you're going to take an increased 20% damage. Okay. And of course, if you're within the specific categories, that being Universe 6 / Rapid Growth, you're getting up to 25% attack and defense. So simple interest animation buffs. Simple domain stuff. And his links: Warriors Universe 6, Shocking Speed, Experienced Fighters, Tournament Power, Cold Judgment, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. So this guy is not going to be his best linking partner, but you're still going to run him right next to him. In all technicality, because this guy is from the Universe 6 vs 7 tournament. It had to be like this guy, and this guy's fucking dog shit. You're not running him. But let's go ahead and make believe that this guy gets a super easy A, and you would go ahead and run him anyways. And his categories are shown. His calcs, let's go and see. Attack stat, 24 key, domain up, Universe 6 ally, no stacks, 22 fucking million. His counter is 66 million! Yeah! Tech Vegito numbers! But the only thing is that he has no built-in crit. He has no crit to speak of. But it doesn't, I would assume it doesn't matter, because this, actually it does matter. Counter units do need crit. But I forgot to factor that in. After him dodging an attack, he counters. He has fucking counters. Now, the issue with that, with his counters, is that he does not have any built-in crit. That's it. I feel like this card design is very, very, very dope. Dope card design. Only thing is that pre-super, this fucking, he can explode, no? Let me see the start of turn, all links plus domain. That's basically 600k defense. That's not good. That's not good at all. Yeah, he can get slaughtered turn 1. Defensive stat max, 1.7 million. 3 supers after his 18 keys, so that's 4 plus supers, basically. Okay. With guard and then all that damage, you factor all that in, that's not too bad. With that crazy high dodge. I mean, 1.7 million. These bosses are hitting really fucking hard. Yeah. So if he does get tagged, I mean, he still has that guard and damage reduction to fall back on, but is it enough? He's doing, but you consider what he's doing. Probably not enough. Probably. No, I'd say so. He's doing a lot. With the counters, he has every defensive ability in this kit. I think he's doing enough. His damage. Oh my god. His max attack stat, 34 million. Oh my god. Brother, 102 million on a fucking counter. Oh my god. Okay. Do keep in mind that he is stacking attack. I got something in my eye, by the way. So that's going to be about it, guys. Counters are calculated at 24 key. aka assuming you don't get an additional giving less multipliers. Okay. Oh my god, something flew in my eye. What the fuck, bro? Okay, that's gonna be about it. W. The fact that he can reproc his domain is just nuts. So, how long does it last? 2 turns? He can fucking reproc it. Now, granted, the bad things about this card is A, he doesn't have too many stats at the start of turn. His defensive stat is quite low for some of the content you would want to use him in. And B, he does have to do lots of supers to reproc his domain, which he wants his domain up. Oh my god, my fucking eyeball. And then, but of course, the good thing about him is the fact that he has every defensive ability to fall back on. He's not going to struggle for key. He does have those counters, which could do lots of damage. Bro, my fucking eye, bro. Alright, so that's going to be about it for me. I appreciate you guys for watching. You guys are the best. Send me Dokkan cards over to bhfcustomcards@gmail.com so I get to your Dokkan card as soon as possible. I get all these recent and older Dokkan concepts out the way. I said Dokkan card, who cares? Leave a like and subscribe, like I got Mick said, and that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys for watching the video. Peace.